Good morning, everybody. Welcome to Board Game Breakfast. I'm Tom Vassell.
I'm Z Garcia. Hello.
I'm the podfather of gaming, Stephen Bonacor.
And I'm Morgan Weiss.
Yes, welcome, Morgan, to the show. Morgan's learned a lot behind the scenes here. We've been learning about Mr. Bonacor's education in the background, and I learned a lot of cool things. But let's ignore all those cool things, and let's learn. Morgan, what do you do? Because you told us this behind the scenes, and I thought it was also interesting.
Yeah, I'm an aerospace engineer. I work primarily in testing. Most recent thing I did was ejection seat testing, which is totally cool. Shooting stuff down a rocket track and watching seats go out of an aircraft. But now I'm just a manager, standard cog in the system. But I like to help people get promotions and raises and all that good stuff.
Very cool.
Everyone likes you then. You're like the opposite of that character George Clooney played in that thing where he went around and fired people. What was that called? Up in the Air or something?
Up in the Air, I think. Yeah.
It's a really boring movie. Anyhow, welcome to the show, everybody. We have a contest for you, and we want to talk about that. This contest is from Bezier Games, who had, for sure, one of the hottest games at Gen Con, Cat in a Box. Mm-hmm. Everybody was talking about this trick-taking game. This contest is for another one of their games called Werewords. Werewords is basically 20 questions with a werewolf in your midst. It could even be the person answering the questions. You can win a copy of this. All you have to do is email us at contest@dicetower.com. In the subject line, put the word cat. I never point the correct way. And you have to answer in the body. There's different categories. So Werewords uses an app to get some questions from it. What is the hardest level of questions called? Like it could be called, for example, ludicrous. It's not called ludicrous. Or extremely hard. What is it actually called? Answer that and you can win a copy of this. Good luck.
All right. Well,
folks, today is August 11th, and for much of America, they are either in school or school starts next week. This is our back to school special. That's not true, but last night I was at church and I mentioned how a lot of people were not looking forward to school starting again, and I thought I am immensely pleased by the whole affair. As I am no longer a teacher or student, this time of year feels great, except for traffic. So kids, you have to go to school.
Wow. Mm-hmm. Oh, wow. Mocking kids as well.
No, it's good for you.
It's a new low.
You'll be glad you've gone to school.
You will be glad in the end. Not right now, though. Not when it's 90 degrees out.
Not right now. Well, some kids like going back to school. They meet their friends and everything.
True that.
Well, folks, we're doing a lot of different things. This week is a little bit off. We're playing games live. We'll play it live directly after this, playing some new games that we haven't seen before or that we have seen before, and we're showing off to you just for fun. And then later today, we're going to be doing a Gen Con back talk where we take a look at Gen Con and tell you what we saw and did there. But for now, we're going to jump to some contributors, and then Morgan's going to use his aerospace engineering mind to defeat Z and Steven. Here we go.
Get ready for the ride of your life.
Assalamu alaikum. If you have finished Pandemic Legacy Season 0, and even though there is a method in which you can replay all of its missions again as well, but if you're looking for something different, something unique, something which can let you replay using the components of this game, whole new missions, then look no further. There is going to be a file available called on BGG file section under Pandemic Legacy Season 0 called Pandemic Legacy Continuation Campaign, and it contains 12 new missions, including the new infiltration missions as well. Now, it is going to be an Archer, the FX animation series. It's going to be based on that, but it never says that anywhere in the title of the file, which was weird to me, but maybe just due to copyright or something, they never say this is based on Archer. But there are character cards which are based on Archer. You will get new characters with their own unique abilities. You will have new missions based on Archer. So it's a whole new campaign of 12 missions. It does not have a story itself, but at least the BGG user went through all the trouble of making it thematically about 12 missions going through in that Archer universe. So if you're looking for more content for Pandemic Legacy Season 0, look for the continuation campaign on the BGG file section. That's it from me. Happy gaming!
Hello, Proti here, your Romanian content creator, and today I will continue my series where I will talk about a specific part of a game, and today we will talk about Zapotec. In Zapotec, it's an interesting mechanic that you are playing one card, and this card defines the order of the round because of a number that you have, and this is depending on what card you choose. You can be earlier or later in the round. Then that card defines where or what you can build in the different areas and so on, and which row or column on your board will produce and give you resources this turn. So practically in the beginning of the round you will play one card, and this defines your whole round, which is quite interesting. And you do different things. You can make different rituals, you can build pyramids, and of course you can build your buildings, which are giving you more production and giving you scoring opportunities at the end of the round. But what I wanted to discuss is there is a space where you can buy different tiles with different upgrades, so to say. And there are 3 levels of upgrades: level 1, 2, and 3. And I wanted to show a level 3 upgrade, and this is this one. Oops. No, it's not correct. This one, which is giving you the possibility, one-time use, to use 2 corn to go 4 steps on the temple. This is another thing that you are going for temples, and every step of the temple is giving you different benefits, and this is quite nice if you're pushing for the temple to get highest at the end of the game, to get the highest points and get all the benefits during the trek of the temple. If this tile is coming up, it's quite nice and quite useful. Even if you're not going for the temple strategy or so on, you can get this card so that you get a bit of something even if you were not focusing on the temple track. So it's quite interesting. The game is interesting one, and I find this upgrade tiles quite nice, and this is a especially interesting one that I really like, the level 3 one, which is giving you the possibility for 2 corn to go 4 spaces up on the temple track. This is what I wanted to discuss about Zapotec. Have a nice breakfast.
All right, everybody, here we go. Today, we're playing a game that you are involved in. So what's going to happen is I'm going to put a poll in the chat. I just put the first poll in the chat, and you all will vote on it, answer the questions for this poll. And I'm going to ask these 3 fine gentlemen, they're going to try to pick the answer that they think is the second highest. So I'll rank all the answers by how many people voted for them from 1 to 6. And then each person will pick one in order. You have to pick a different one than everyone else. If you pick the second most answer, you will get 4 points. The third, 3 points. The fourth, 2 points. The fifth, 1 point. If you pick the last answer, you give the people a point. And if you pick the first answer, you give the people 2 points. So the people, you have a chance of winning here. All right, here we go. Question number 1. Yeah. This one comes from a question that came up in Q&A yesterday. Which of these superpowers would you rather have? So asking people, the 6 superpowers, which one would they most likely want to have? So we have invulnerability, invisibility, telepathy, teleportation, flying, and luck. Like good luck, like domino. So invulnerability, invisibility, telepathy, teleportation, flying, and luck.
Can I have a different one every day? That'd be kind of cool.
That would be
cool,
actually
except for the day that you thought you had flying and jumped out the window. We're like, oh no!
That's actually a really
power. That day I had invulnerability, so I landed, brushed myself.
Yeah, but you still broke my car.
I don't care if I break your car.
What if you broke your car?
That would suck. Oh, that would suck bad.
That's a good idea. Having like waking up every time you wake up, you have a new superpower, but you don't know what it is.
It's like Groundhog
There
Day.
actually is a
reverse.
character, George R.R. Martin wrote a series called Aces High, and there is a character who has a special ability like that in that series.
And he never finished the series.
No, actually, I think the series keeps him from writing Game of Thrones. But it's also an anthology. Lots of different writers write in the series. All right, time's up. Mr. Bonacor, what's your choice?
I go first? Okay, maybe that's an advantage. I'm going to go with invisibility.
Invisibility? All right.
The
Morgan, what do you say?
perviest of all the super.
I'll go with telepathy.
Nice.
Telepathy? Okay.
Oh man. Fine. I'm gonna go with teleportation.
Yeah, that could be number one. I like that one a lot too.
I'm hoping that invulnerability is number one. That's pretty good. But teleportation, what a time saver.
All right.
Yeah.
Well, let's go from bottom to highest here. The fewest votes, and this is a little surprising to me, is telepathy.
Wow.
So unfortunately, Morgan, you gave the people a point.
Morgan.
Then the second lowest was invisibility. The choice of perverts everywhere. Then the fourth. Oh wait, I'm sorry. That gives Mr. Bonacor a point.
Thank you.
Then the fourth answer is luck. Then the third answer is flying. And the top answer was double the number 2 answer. So number 2, invulnerability. Number 1, teleportation. Skipping those airplane flights, Z.
I know,
Yeah.
but
Right now-
invulnerability, are you kidding me? Invulnerability is tremendous. You can't be hurt.
Who got a point of us? Who got a point?
Okay, so Mr. Bonacor has 1 point.
Thank you.
Morgan has 0. Z has 0. And the people have 3.
Oh, they're invulnerable now.
That's right.
What a good start. All right, next poll's in the chat. Okay, so let's jump down to less useful superpowers. Which of these superpowers would you rather have? And this is the last one of these questions, by the way. All right, so you can pick. Eat as much as you want and never gain weight.
Oh,
Or-
done. Stop. Done.
Or always know exactly what time it is. Or understand other people no matter the language. Or communicate with insects. Or never lose anything. Or have a perfect memory.
Oh.
So eat as much as you want, never gain weight, always know exactly what time it is, understand other people no matter the language, communicate with insects, never lose anything, or have a perfect memory. Now remember, you want to pick the second most one. So Morgan, you're going to be picking first this time, but you got a little bit of time as we watch the votes come in.
What was
Wow,
the fourth
this is
one?
interesting.
What was the fourth one? Instant.
Communicate with insects, baby.
And insects. Like you talk fast, and I'm trying to abbreviate. Got it. That's okay.
Very
Remember, you
interesting
don't want to
choices
pick
here.
the number 1 answer.
Oh, I want somebody to pick the number 1 answer.
You want the people to win?
Oh yeah, that's right.
If it's not me,
So I'll tell you what you don't have, Bonacor. Perfect memory. He just said this.
That's obviously gonna be my answer. Oh, okay.
Okay. Well, Morgan, you get to pick first. What do you want?
I'll go with never lose anything.
Really? It's a terrible.
Wow.
Interesting. Never lose anything has that like quality where like a genie might try to trick you with that though. You know what I mean? Like you break a leg and he's like, it'll never heal. You'll never lose that fracture. You know
You'll
what I
never
mean?
lose that broken leg.
Yeah. So I don't know. I worry about that one can be manipulated against you. Is it
But
me?
what about my money? I can never lose my money, so I can just buy stuff and I never lose it.
Yeah. But if you ever want to try to get rid of
Interesting.
something, you can't.
That's true.
I think we might
Have
be
a lot of
going
trash
into too
in my
much of a
life.
rabbit hole here, Z.
Yeah.
What's your choice?
Z,
Is
who
it
goes?
me? All right. I'm going to go with This is again a double-edged sword, but I'm gonna go with perfect memory. Perfect memory is interesting.
It is a good one.
That's a great power, but it definitely also, again, you sometimes want to be able to forget things, traumas and things.
So they
have
actually
perfect memory.
I read an interview with people who have that, like, they never forget anything, and they said that exact same thing. You remember everything, so pain doesn't go away, but you also tend to everything, like you'll remember like great moments in your life, but for someone with perfect memory, that's just another moment because they remember every moment.
Oh, wow. I'd like to change my answer to
Mr.
talking to a bug.
1-2. I know 1-2 here. I'm just gonna will intelligence reign, or will gluttony reign here?
Oh yeah.
Yeah. I'm gonna go with eat anything, because
That's the wrong answer.
I'm gonna think languages is gonna be number 1. I'm hoping it is.
It's gotta be number 1. Are you kidding? That's incredibly useful, right? That's gotta be number 1.
What language?
For me as an individual.
All right. Well, here's
and number
the
6. Number 6 has got to be always know what time it is. That is a truly useless power.
Actually, well, thank you. Actually, there's a tie for last place. No one voted for either always know what time it is and never lose anything.
What?
So, okay, so Morgan, here's the deal. Since I said 5th place gets you a point and it's a tie, we're going to give you and the people both a point.
There.
Okay.
I love it.
Number 4, with 4 votes, communicate with insects. Number 3.
How does that beat never lose anything? Oh, okay.
Well, because you're like, okay. Number 3 is with 18 votes, eat as much as you want and never gain weight.
Wow.
So that's 3 points for Mr. Bonagor. Bring him up to 4.
Okay.
Number 2 had 26 votes, and number 1 had 33 votes. So
you got it, Z.
Perfect memory. Number 2, understand other people no matter the language. Number 1.
Sweet.
So our scores currently, Mr. Bonagor has 4, Z has 4, the people have 4, and our rocket scientist has 1.
That's right.
See? You don't need to go to school today, kids. That's what you've learned.
100%.
Yep, true.
All right, the next poll is in the chat. Let's switch since we're talking about food. This one's a very simple question. What's your favorite meal? We have for your choices: breakfast, brunch, lunch, dinner, late night snack, and dessert. Breakfast, brunch, lunch, dinner, late night snack, and dessert. It seems like a pretty simple question, and the Z, you're going to be picking first in a moment here, but you got to think. Got to think about this. What will people say is their favorite meal of the day?
And
then you don't want to pick that one. You want to pick number 2.
Oh, okay. Okay, this is very interesting. There's a lot to think about here. I love how dessert is its own meal. That's fantastic.
Yeah, of course it is.
So which of these would be your favorites amongst you 3? Z?
Well, I'm not saying anything until I hear Z's.
For me personally, it's probably dinner. I mean,
for me, it's lunch.
Lunch?
Even though I miss lunch a lot. A good lunch just makes me happy. It's in the middle of the day.
Dinner sort of rounds out the day in some ways. Lunch can kind of slow you down, you know what I mean? So
I agree.
A good dinner feels satisfactory, and then you're done. So you can just sort of relax and enjoy that and enjoy some downtime. But late night snack.
The dessert, then you're done. Get that sweet.
Okay.
Oh, someone in chat says poll not valid should have breakfast for dinner as an option. You can always have breakfast for dinner. You can eat whatever you want for dinner.
You're an adult.
It's not called breakfast because sausage and eggs are there. Just like breakfast isn't dinner if you eat spaghetti. It doesn't. Okay.
Tom, you're gaining the power of rage. Okay, that's your
All right, D, time's up. Pick your choice.
I'm going with dinner. I love some good dinner.
Thank you for picking the number one answer. Appreciate that.
I don't think so.
Who goes next?
All right, Mr. Bonko, you're next.
Oh, now it's hard. Who's number two? Who's gonna be number two? I'm gonna say a lot of people went with dessert. Dessert.
Okay. And Morgan.
I'm gonna go breakfast.
See, I think mine actually would be brunch, but I don't, because it's a special thing. Who eats brunch? I mean, it's not a thing you do often. Sometimes you go out, Sunday brunch.
Well, it isn't brunch always an event? It's never like a standard.
Which makes it
That's
special,
true.
which makes you feel good about it. So that would be my answer, but that's probably not the people's.
All right. The last answer, the fewest votes, even though we all know it's not true, is late night snack. You like it, you just don't want to admit it. All right. Number 5 is lunch. Lunch. No one picked lunch, right? I'm surprised.
Right.
All right. Number 4, dessert.
Oh.
Dessert. So that gives you 2 points, Mr. Bonagor.
How did brunch get this many votes? I don't think so.
See, that was right.
Well, brunch is next. Brunch, it comes in 3rd place.
Because
Second
it's
place had
brunch.
17 votes. First place had 35 votes. Second place, breakfast. First place, dinner.
Yes.
Oh,
Got some
man.
points.
So here's where our scores are. In first place, the people have 7. In second place, Mr. Bonagor has 6. Morgan has jumped to 3rd place with 5. Z is rounding us out with 4. 7, 6, 5,
Rounding
4.
us out. That's a fat joke, and I don't appreciate it.
It was.
Okay,
Absolutely
first of
was.
all, don't
Have you-
read into anything.
Have you thought about stopping the desserts? I'm just saying.
Oh,
or
wow.
the late night snacks. I'm just saying.
Okay.
Remember that degree we talked about you having?
I was just gonna say the same thing.
What,
All
what,
right.
what was the degree that you called? What said? Why you say that out loud?
Next
what
one of
degree?
these. Which of these is the cutest? All right. Which of these is the cutest? A 3-month-old baby. And by that I mean a human baby, in case you're not sure. Or a puppy. Or a kitten. Or a baby penguin. Or a bunny. Or baby Yoda. Which of these is the cutest?
It's great
A
one, dude.
3-month-old baby, a puppy, a kitten, a baby penguin, a bunny, or baby Yoda. One of these cute things just gave me a wonderful gift at 5:30 a.m. this morning. And as I was rushing this cute thing out the door, I almost stepped in a different gift. It was a fantastic morning. All right, I believe
That's what
Morgan.
happens when you steal a
Wait,
penguin.
no, this is Mr. Bonagor. Mr. Bonagor, you'll be going first here of cuteness.
This is hard. This is hard. There's at least 2 of them that are right up there. Depends on what people's likes are the most. Oh,
I'll give you a clue. Everything has gotten votes.
Yes, Baby Yoda's gonna get them. Yes, everybody's gonna get votes here. I'm gonna try to get the second best.
Yes, we know that's the whole game.
I'm gonna try to
But
win.
it could be number 1. I'm gonna go puppy.
Oh, you're insane. You're a madman.
Oh,
Puppy's
that's
the
a-
cutest thing in the whole world.
Dude,
It's
I'm
the
the cutest thing except for
Is it me?
except for you.
Except for me, right?
By the way, before we go any farther, the people actually only have 6 points. I was erroneous on the last one.
Yes.
Matt, not strong suit, huh?
No, but that's not what my degree's in, as others are.
Ooh.
Proving that degree right. All right, Morgan, what would you pick?
Man, This is a tough one. I'll go Baby Yoda.
Wow.
Baby Yoda.
Aggressive. I like it.
All right, I'm going to go with the one I think is probably the cutest is a bunny. Bunnies are very adorable creatures.
That's a
and
safe
delicious.
That's a safe vote. Yeah, that's not a.
I think it's a little bit of a safe one. I think it's a safe
delicious. One. Yeah. You eat bunny?
No,
are you kidding?
Bunny.
You eat baby pigs. You eat lamb. Come on now.
How could you eat a bunny?
Okay. Well, what about chocolate bunnies? All right, number 6 with 7 votes is bunny.
What?
Z.
Oh, no. Okay, penguins are definitely not as cute as bunnies.
Amazing.
9 people voted for baby penguins.
I guess. Morgan says it's because it's a baby penguin. Whatever.
Number 4. And Morgan picked this one. Baby Yoda.
All right, we're getting close here.
Number 3. 3-month-old baby.
Yep.
Which means people think young animals are cuter than humans.
Come on. Come on.
So number 2 at 18 votes. Number 1 at 28 votes. I'm immensely pleased by the results of this poll. Number 2 is kitten. Number 1, puppy.
There we go.
Well, so this was a good round here. Let's clarify where we're at here so I can help Roy out. The people have 9. 9, because they just got 3 more points. Morgan is now in second with 7.
I'm the lowest.
Z is still the lowest. Z is 4.
No, I mean.
Yo, man.
Right, so that gave the people 1, and Miss Bonacor gave 2.
Oh,
Bonacor is
Bonacor at? Still 6?
6. And
you're still at 4, so it's 9, 7, 6, 4. But we still have a couple of questions here. Let's do the next one as quickly as we can. We're going to go to the opposite of cuteness here. Let's talk about which of these is the worst villain. Of these 6 people, which of these is the worst villain? We have the Joker, Emperor Palpatine from Star Wars, Pennywise, he's the clown from It, Lord Voldemort, I think I'm allowed to say his name, the Predator. It's made a movie about him, so yeah. And Freddy Krueger. So we have the Joker, Emperor Palpatine, Pennywise, Lord Voldemort, the Predator, and Freddy Krueger. Which of these is the worst villain?
Freddy Krueger is you mean the worst villain as in like the best villain?
The worst villain. That's all you get to hear.
The question is, which of these is the worst villain? And you know what? I didn't think about that, so you're going to have to guess how the people interpreted it.
Yeah.
Okay.
Stop trying to get extra information, Z.
Well, no, there's no extra information to give. I mean, I meant in my head which one of these is the worst of the worst, bad guy.
Right, baddest
guy. Might read it the other way.
Right.
Well, the baddest guy is the best villain, right?
Yes, correct.
He's doing his job the best.
I don't think it's their job necessarily. Like, what do these people get degrees in, for example? What if the Joker got a degree? You know what I mean?
I believe
I believe the Joker and Mr. Bonacor were in the same class.
Yes, we were in the same class together.
Pennywise was at Bonacor's graduation ceremony. He gave
he was at the after party.
Lord Voldemort.
It's hard to see in the gutter, though.
All right, this is question 5. So, Morgan, you're going to be picking first from these villains.
Let's go with. We'll go with Voldemort.
He who shall not be named. Got it? All right, Z.
I'm going to go with my favorite from all of
All right.
Wow. I think I know.
Bonacor?
I think I know one too. I'm gonna go Palpatine.
All right.
He who will not remain dead.
So interestingly enough, we have almost a repeat of last time. All right, so the last answer, Z, you're becoming adept at picking this. With 4 votes, the Predator. Just above him, Lord Voldemort with 12 votes. Then the Joker.
Really?
Number 3, Pennywise. You forgot how much people hate clowns. So number 2 and 1, it's between Kruger and Palpatine. Number 2.
That's ridiculous.
18 votes. Number 1, 21 votes. Freddy Krueger, number 2. Palpatine, number 1.
God.
That is
Palpatine number 1?
ridiculous. Freddy Krueger hasn't been relevant in like a decade. No.
Many. 2. Wow.
He gets you in your dreams. Anyhow.
I really thought Joker was going to be number 1. Joker's
So right now
the
the
worst
people have 12. Morgan, you're up to 8. And everyone else's scores remain the same.
Oh,
Wow. Well, that kind of stunk.
how are we supposed to beat the people now?
You know what? With a stick. All right, here we go.
Wow.
The next
that's
poll.
violent.
Let's jump to games. So I put some popular games that are either current or about to come out, and I'm asking people which of these upcoming / new games are you most interested in. So we have Turing Machine. This is from Hachette Publications. Twilight Inscription. This is from Fantasy Flight. Ahoy! From Leader Games. My Father's Work from Renegade Games. Nightfall, an upcoming game from Ryan Lockett. And Splendor Duel, a new way to play Splendor with only 2 people. So we have Turing Machine, Twilight Inscription, Ahoy, My Father's Work, Nightfall, and that's spelled K-N-I-G-H-T, and Splendor Duel. And Z, you'll be going first on this one. You have to gauge what people are interested in. What's the hype?
Okay. Jeez. I'm gonna go with.
This is the closest vote so far.
Oh boy.
You want me to vote already? Say my pick already?
Go for it.
This is tricky. I'm gonna go with. I refuse to be last, even if I pick the first one. But I think this isn't the first one. I'm gonna go with Twilight Inscription.
It's a good call.
Okay.
Who's next?
You are.
All right, I'm going to go with Ryan Lockett's game, Nightfall.
And that's how you pick the last one.
Okay. And Morgan.
I'll go with Ahoy.
Ahoy.
Hmm.
All right, everything is locked in here. All right, here's the good news.
Mm-hmm.
The good news is the people got no points.
All right.
That's what I'm talking about.
Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes.
In your face,
Make
people.
them suffer. Make them pay.
All right, number 6. The last choice was Splendor Duel.
Yep.
Just
Too
beating that.
early.
Number 5, Nightfall.
Oh.
Number 4,
Really?
Twilight Inscription.
Really?
Number 3, Ahoy. Number 2, My Father's Work. And number 1, Turing Machine. But those two bounced back and forth the whole time. If you had picked either one of them, might have been first, might have been last.
Wow.
All right, so here's where the points stand right now. The people still have 12. Morgan is up to 11.
Oh.
Bonacore has 7. And Z, you now have 6.
Yes.
Didn't reach.
I will allow you guys to decide if you want the final round to be double points or not.
100%.
Well,
No, 0%.
I would, but I think that the guests should take
All
that.
right. No
gonna
double
win.
points here. All right, here we go.
Morgan, I'll give you half my points to vote with me.
Oh, I'll take it. I'll have Z.
That's not allowed? Okay.
Collusion.
People have spoken. All right, which of these sports? Let's go to sports.
Yeah.
Which
Oh,
of these
never
sports
mind.
would you
50%.
rather watch? I'm asking people, which of these sports would they rather watch? Darts, golf, bowling, pool, curling, or tennis? Which of these sports would you rather watch? I tried to pick exciting sports. Darts, golf, bowling, pool, curling, or tennis? Mr. Bach, you will go first. You were trying to pick a sport that people watch but don't want to watch too much.
Yeah, I know the number one. That's easy.
We'll say one of these currently has 0 votes.
Wow. I'm gonna go with tennis.
Wow. Okay.
Okay. All right, Morgan.
Tennis is gonna be 2.
I'm gonna go with pool.
Okay.
It's like watching grass grow.
I can't pick
You don't
my
like
favorite.
watching trick shots? You don't like watching people doing trick shots?
They don't do trick shots when you watch pool. They do. I got to get that ball in there for my shot.
Yeah, but they're so fast at it. It's so cool.
No, it's an amazing talent.
All right, Z.
Okay, so I got to pick from one of these other losers and basically avoid golf. Got it. Jeez. Curling? Curling.
Curling is number 1. I'm telling you.
Curling's number 1.
People love that sport.
Curling
You don't
is
think it's
fantastic.
golf? You
That's
don't
my
think
favorite.
golf is number 1?
No, but I mean, I watch golf occasionally, but I think I'm weird, as Tom does, So,
All right.
no.
Let's talk about the one that got 0 votes. What do you think that was? Nobody said they want to watch it.
Darts.
No, it's bowling. Bowling got 0 votes.
Darts got second.
Darts got 6 votes. So 6 people would rather watch darts than bowling. Then 12 votes are very close to the bottom. Our number 4 answer, pool. Then number 3, 14 people voted for golf.
Oh, goodness.
Which brings us to tennis and curling. One of these has 21 votes. The other has 42 votes.
There's no way curling's first.
At number 2, curling, the Olympic sport. Z, I'm with you. I don't get it.
What?
Have you ever watched
I don't go in the
It's
kitchen and watch
awesome.
people when they sweep. Why would I want to watch people when they're doing it?
Curling is an awesome sport once you watch it. I mean, I thought it was the dumbest.
That being said, Z, you were a kingmaker by picking that. So final scores, Z has 6.
Good.
Mr. Bonagor has 11. Went from 7 to 11.
Yeah, baby.
Then Morgan has 13. And the people have 14.
Yeah.
If you just picked golf,
Oh,
Morgan would have won.
If you just couldn't pick curling, which we all knew was number 1.
That's why they call me the voice of the people. Because I suck at these games.
All righty, well, that's our game. Thank you, Morgan, for showing up and playing with us. And you actually, you did beat Z and Bonagor. That's all that matters.
There we go.
You did.
So,
Morgan,
all right,
you're welcome.
folks.
You're welcome to come down to my house in South Florida. And
Oh, okay. I'll be there.
of this group, you're the only one welcome.
I'll send you his address. All righty.
Perfect.
I'll give it out on air. It's public knowledge in Florida. It is.
Let's keep going here with some contributors before someone makes a mistake they can't come back from.
Yep.
Hi, this is Amber from Board Game Blitz, and today I'm not talking about a board game, but a role-playing game for children starting ages 3 and up. My First Adventure, Finding the Dragon. So My First Adventure is actually a series of books, but Finding the Dragon is currently the only one available in the US, I think. There are other ones coming soon, hopefully. But it's basically kind of like a choose-your-own-adventure storybook for little kids. The way it works is you get to choose one of 3 characters, and you note that on this dial here, and then the other dials are where you're gonna get items or wounds. Each section of the story has like a story part and then 3 choices. And these are split apart pages in the book. So if you read the story to your kid, you can read the different choices and then they can say which one they want. Or they can just point to what they want and then you see what happens. And then after that happens, then it goes to the next page and there's another 3 choices. So it's really easy for a toddler to follow along. It's basically like reading a story to them, but it's more interactive. And my kids really love getting stories read to them. This is even more fun for them because they get to point to the different things that they want to happen, and they always pick the same thing over and over again, even though it makes them lose. But it's really cool that they get to choose, and then they also like moving the dial to match what item they get. And now they know, like, oh, we go here, we're going to get this item, and then we're going to get a Band-Aid. And they're actually really like getting the bandages, even though that's like not what you're supposed to go for. But the story also is really cute. It's about finding a dragon and trying to befriend the dragons. So it's an appropriate story for toddlers. And it's kind of fun for me to read through too. I kind of want to know what all the different options do, because my kids keep picking the same thing over and over again. So I don't actually know what other options do, and we haven't actually won yet. But still, we've been having a lot of fun playing through or reading through Finding the Dragon. And I'm excited for the other stories in the series that hopefully will come soon. Are there any other good intro role-playing games that you've played with your kids? Let me know in the comments. Thanks for watching Board Game Blitz. Bye.
Minasan ohayo gozaimasu, and welcome to the Board Game Dojo, where we take a look at games from Asia and let you know if they are worth your hard-earned money. Taking a look at a classic game called Too Many Cinderellas by Nobutake Dogen and Nao Shimamura. This was from the times of microgames, so it comes in a teeny box with only a few rules. The game is all about finding the one who got away when the clock struck midnight. Each player has 4 possible Cinderellas in their hand, and on their turn plays 1 card. This card will be something like not a wine drinker, or something like not numbered 1, 2, 3, or 4. They'll play their card, and then people will then vote on the card. If voted yes by everyone, that rule is now in effect, meaning any Cinderellas you have in your hand that have that attribute can no longer be the possible Cinderella. So how do you counter this? Well, everyone also has a no chip that they can use during the voting phase that, even if only one person uses, automatically makes that rule just fake gossip. But the kicker is, you can only use it once per round. At the end of the round, whoever is the last Cinderella standing wins. Sometimes it's nice to come back to these kinds of games, the kind of games you can take with you anywhere, explain it to just about anyone, and provide you and your party a solid 10-15 minutes of entertainment. This is definitely one of the sillier ones, as Cinderella could be something like a cat, or not really a bird though. But that just adds to the unseriousness of the game itself. It doesn't take itself too seriously, it doesn't overstay its welcome, but in that short span of time, it provides countless opportunities for clever play, silly mistakes that the table can laugh about, and an overall inviting game for all skill levels and ages. It's nice to have those grandiose games that look beautiful and have premium components that cost $100. But sometimes it's nice to just pull out a game that costs $10, it's just a few cards and some chips, and laugh about trying to make your Cinderella the next princess of the kingdom for 15 minutes. Thank you so much for joining us today. This has been today's Cinderella, Eric, and thank you to Bun-chan for joining me. Arigatou gozaimashita.
All right, folks, we got a lot of news. So much news, actually, that some of it was pushed to next week. So let's get started into the news. First of all, Gen Con is on everyone's mind. Gen Con, I haven't found like an actual official announcement from Gen Con anywhere, but from secondary sources, they're saying there was between 50 and 55,000 unique attendees at the con this year.
I don't have a link, Tom, but that is like an official number. In fact, that range is an official number.
Yeah, I just find it would be odd if it's an official number, then why is it a range? I feel like they could give us an exact number.
Gen Con has never, if you can look back in the years, they've never given you exact numbers ever. They just give you, we had over this, we had approximately, they always do that every year. So, and I think this, just if I can comment, I think that this was a great year for Gen Con. I think that 50,000, even though it wasn't the 70,000 of 2019, really brings this back as a great show, a big show. I felt like there was a lot of energy there. I was really happy with the whole show.
I think that, unfortunately, this underscores the fact that Origins barely increased. And you can't really use the dates or anything else to compare the two. So this doesn't look good for Origins that Gen Con had such a big increase. Because, again, you mentioned 70,000. That was a one-year thing. That was the 50th anniversary, too.
Yeah, but that was a one-year thing as they were continuing to increase. And in the year before that was 65-ish. So, I mean, that was just their general trajectory to get
They
to
kind
there.
of capped it though. I don't think it could actually handle more than 70,000.
That's exactly right.
It felt very crowded there.
That's their maximum theoretical number in that area, and that's what they did do. But I agree with you. 50,000 on 70,000 is a lot more than 10,000 on 20,000. That was the Origins figure this year.
Yeah, but it's not even that. It's the 35 to 50, while Origins went up, I think, 10%.
Right, but I'm trying to compare it also to their high watermarks. The high watermark of Origins was 20-ish, give or take, maybe a little over that. And now they only had, was it 10 something, 10 and change, or 11? That number, that percentage is not nearly as good as 50,000 this year versus the high watermark of 70,000. So, yeah, it does not bode well. I agree with you for how Origins did.
Alrighty, but everyone seemed to be good. Exhibitors told me it was a good show for them. I talked to exhibitors, mixed reports on Origins again, but for Gen Con, I did not hear anything negative. It was not as phenomenal as last year. Last year was a really weird year that there was fewer people and sales were extremely high, but sales were like back to par with last year, and they said almost to pre-COVID levels. We'll see. All right. We have a lot of games announcements, so here we go. First, Starry Night Sky, which for some reason the people decided to put in a sunny background here as the picture. Maybe it's for contrast purposes. I don't know. Yeah. This is from Emma Larkins. She did the fun little game called Abandon All Artichokes, and Buffalo Games, which, by the way, did you know that Buffalo Games bought Game Right Games?
I don't think I remember that. I mean,
Game Right Games told me that at the show, and it happened like a year ago. It was very quiet. I did not hear about that.
Game Right, the mass market-ish company, right? I mean, they do a lot.
Well, Buffalo's also mass market too, so I mean, it makes sense.
Interesting.
Anyway, you're moving a telescope around a board trying to find locations to place your stars. And once you place stars, it's easier to move around the board. You're trying to get constellations. I hope it's as good as it sounds, and I like that cover.
I love the cover.
All right. Artipia Games is a game called Wordcraft. I'm assuming this is, coming out around Essen time. And this is where you area control game, but also with words and letters. I wish they wouldn't have used this very generic theme, though. This whole alchemist type theme is getting a little overdone.
I don't know. I think when you have a game about you're going to be crafting words, more of a just generic word theme makes more sense. I don't know. Like alchemists don't craft words, so I
maybe they should have called it Wordle Craft.
Wordle.
Then they would get all the.
There you go.
I think there is a Wordle board game, but anyhow. All right, let's go to a cover that I like this cover. This is AG&C. This is from Carl Chuddick. This is going to Backer Kit in September. This is.
That seems to be very much his style of game with multi-purpose, multi-use cards, in which, again, you have a board in front of you and you can tuck sides on the left, on the right, above the board, below the board, and all those things are different whatevers. They become different things based on where you tucked in that card. His usual stick, he's done it in Glory to Rome, Multini, the yellow one with the dinosaurs or whatever. I mean, but it looks neat. I really like this cover too.
Yeah, so it's an interesting thing to see here. We'll see how it works on Backer Kit.
Yeah.
So I like Upper Deck, but they do seem to be a bit stuck in a rut here when it comes to what they do, because it's like all legendary all the time. So first we have some more Marvel Legendary, the Infinity Saga, and then Black Panther. Actually, you would never, ever have to look at what their expansions are. You just look at the Marvel movie schedule. to see what sets are coming out. I mean, but I'm interested in this because I like Legendary. It's just like, wow, that's a lot. I'm less interested in their new Legendary Encounters game, The Matrix. Now, I like The Matrix a lot. That's one of my favorite movies. I actually think the art on this game is really good. Upper Deck had probably one of the coolest booths at Gen Con.
Mm-hmm.
They like this whole thing with lights, with the Matrix code going through it. That was
cool.
But when I saw that their game was Legendary Encounters, The Matrix, I was like, oh, okay. Again, I don't know how much room this system has.
This is not Legendary. This is a different system. I've never played it.
Legendary Encounters is very similar to Legendary. There's some differences. There's more movement, more strategy. They did Aliens, Predator.
Yeah, I remember.
Big Trouble in Little China, a few other ones.
Could I ask a really dumb question based on the notes we have here that we're looking at? Fans of Neo and haters of spoons rejoice. What's that reference to?
I'm pretty sure that's Corey's joke there, and they bent the spoon in the Matrix.
Okay, Corey went over my head, but then again.
Z, what do you think? You like Legendary Encounters more than me.
I do. I'm not as big a fan of this artwork. The little bit I'm seeing here, I think looks okay. I liked Alien and I liked Predator. I also thought they were very bloated games. And then I fell off of this train. Didn't care for literally any of the other ones after this. That's partly theme, but also, just the looks and whatnot.
James Bond, I think, has been the one they've been running lately.
Yeah. This might be a theme that gets me back into trying one of these. I am curious, and this will be a big deal, if this includes movies 1, 2, 3, or 1, 2, 3, 4. That's a problem. I would rather they not include or basically pretend the new one doesn't exist in this game.
It's hard to tell because from the cover here, I can see that they definitely have 1 and 2.
And 2 and 3 are kind of the same movie, right? I mean, so
right.
I'm sure it's 1, 2, 3. I don't know if the new one again counts or not. I hope it doesn't. I'll try it out, see what this feels like, but it feels a little more like of a stretch than, say, Alien and Predator really worked out well.
All right, from Grand Gamers Guild, we have Endeavor Deep Sea. So the original game, Endeavor Age of Sail, this is a new one, which is a little interesting to me because it seems like a very different theme. Endeavor Age of Sail is kind of like exploring the world almost with finding different continents. This is Deep Sea. I don't know. It just feels like a different game, like almost a one. I don't know. They just don't seem to be the same kind of theme.
Yeah, the original game doesn't really feel like it is, I guess, an exploration game, but the scope is so massive. It's more, it's happening over decades, right? You're looking at this thing and you're seeing it, traverse and sort of expand over decades of exploration and incorporating new continents into your world view and things like that. This one seems a little more narrow, but also much more exploratory in the, more modern sense of the word. I don't know. I agree with you, but I like the system. I think this is a very solid, clean system. And I like deep sea themes. I think that's a cool setting. So I'm curious about this one. I also really like that cover.
Mm-hmm.
Speaking of cool covers, I like this next cover. Empire's End. This is a combination of a lot of things I like. John D. Clare, the designer of Space Base. Quanche Mori, who has fantastic art. I really like that burning temple stuff in the background. It kind of gives it a nice dynamic feel to me. And it's from Brotherwise Games. So I thought John D. Clare was exclusive with the AEG. Apparently that is not true. So this is coming to crowdfunding in November. Corey, our news guy, has played it and said he really liked it.
That is a very interesting cover because that square in the center there that's sort of highlighted looks like a portal through time because through it, the temple and sort of the background is immaculate, filled with people walking those steps. The outside of that is in ruins. I
It's
wonder
like
if
she's
this has
looking
some
back
sort of.
and remembering.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's a cool cover, but I wonder then, does this have some
Yeah.
sort of time travel aspect to it, or?
I'm thinking it's the beginning of the civilization, the middle of civilization, the end of the civilization, the burning and stuff like that. I think that's what they're trying to say. The one thing that I picked up here is that the best way to describe this one is no thanks meets a Civ builder. Now that's a weird juxtaposition of one type of game and one game. I look forward to checking out how this thing is going to work.
Yeah, it sounds interesting and it looks cool.
Mm-hmm.
Our next game would have made our top 10 list last year for bad game names, and that's Zoo Vadis. Come on now. So this is based on one of Rainer Knizia's older games called Quo Vadis, which makes sense because it's a Latin phrase. Zoo Vadis, come on now. You're not even trying. Although it is I like the animals. The art's good.
The art here is really, really interesting.
Good art. This is a very, 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 I don't know how much they changed the game, but this is a very okay game from Rainer Knizia. I would never have asked for it to be reprinted. But now it has animals, and they gave it, well, maybe people like the name. I hate it. I hate Zoo Vadis so much.
Tell us how you really
sense.
Feel. That's pretty strong. I think the tagline, politics and intrigue in the animal kingdom. Didn't know they had any of that there, but hey, I'll check it out.
I do like Bitewing. I mean, they're very new on the scene, but they've been very good as far as their Kickstarter that they ran. Their communication's been top notch. There seem to be some sharp, bright minds behind the company, and even though they are technically still unproven, their first Kickstarter hasn't quite delivered yet. It's about to. They seem to know what they're doing, and I like that. I like that professionalism and clarity of vision seem to be coming through. This is maybe a game that I won't like, and I don't know if I've played the original from Knizia. It's a very old game, but it seems focused, and I like that. You know what I mean? It seems well illustrated and focused. So yeah, we'll see.
It says here in Corey's notes, Bitewing has streamlined the title, so I guess Zoo Vadis is streamlined over Quo Vadis, I guess, according to Corey.
Obviously, they're going to say that. That's just marketing speak. We streamlined it. We made the name worse. Okay. Swindler from Matthias Kramer and Pegasus Spiel. This is a push your luck game where you're stealing money bags that have coins, but there's a skull in the bag, and draw the skull and you bust. Sounds like a very light, fun little game, although it does say 45 to 60 minutes there. That's a little longer than I want to push your luck game, maybe.
Matthias Kramer is a very good designer, and I tend to enjoy his smaller games actually more than his big games. Like he does that trick taking. I think it's the trick taking one with the fruit, the whatever that's called, P-Mal Flauman or whatever that game. I think that's his. And this one sounds interesting. This might be a very cool game. He doesn't do that many games, so I'm looking forward to it. And again, man, we are spoiled with neat-looking games. This is such a cool cover.
It is pretty cool. I think maybe, Tom, this game could, the pressure your luck, but it could be more like Quacks, which is pressure luck, but got so much other stuff going on. Yeah, that's what I'm thinking, because Matthias Kramer doesn't do real, at least I don't remember him doing light stuff. His stuff has got some meat. So I think it may be more like that, maybe.
Yeah.
It is a day of cool covers. Let's move to Galileo Project. This is from the company Sorry We Are French. Love that name.
And I love that name. I love this cover. I love that name.
This is a designer I don't know if I know, Adrian Hessling. And you're playing as corporation settling the Galilean moons around Jupiter. Honestly, the theme doesn't sound that interesting. But Hachette, who's the kind of the overseer of Sorry We Are French, I like their stuff. It said they were supposed to release this show to Gen Con, the press at Gen Con. I did not see it there, but I missed a lot of stuff. But man, I'd get this based on the cover. I hope the game matches the cover.
It is gorgeous. Wow. Yeah.
100% agreement.
Let's stick with good covers. Now we're jumping to Pandasaurus, The Wolves. This one here, you are creating the strongest pack, which is, this theme was just done a couple years ago in the alpha. But Pandasaurus, I got to say, I really like Pandasaurus games these days. They have some really on-the-ball stuff. And so I'm looking forward to this. It's coming out October.
Beautiful.
Beautiful cover.
All right, well, let's go back to normal covers. Flashback Zombie Kids. This is an investigation game from Scorpion Mask. Now, Zombie Kids and Zombie Teens were like legacy-style games where you just played a basic little simple game with kids where you tried to escape from zombies in a school, but it changed as the game went by. Now you are in that same universe. That's right. Everything's a universe these days. In the ZKU, the Zombie Kid universe, which will culminate in Zombie Kids Endgame in 2062.
Yes.
I don't know. It's story cards. It says special cards, 2 envelopes, a surprise box. It sounds like it's also legacy, sort of.
Yeah, I wonder. This is a little confusing. I guess if you knew the original one, it's a little confusing. I'm sure, gaming memory is very short, so I'm assuming they just don't care.
Well, we'll find out. Well, Zombie Kids, I know, is very popular, so this will probably sell well for them. All right. Well, Queen Games said, hey, you know what? There's a huge amount of people clamoring for us to reprint the 2017 game Pioneers, which is so popular the Dice Tower Library has 4 copies of it. Not true. It's not even in our library. It's a fine game, but it's very, very, very okay. So let's make it better by making it in a new Green Planet line called Future Energy. Yay! Sorry, was that too much?
You might have gone a little negative there. I don't know. I've never played Pioneer.
Why are they reprinting this game? I mean, Pioneers is fine, but no one's asking to play it.
Yeah,
I'm gonna look it up on Board Game Geek to see.
I got nothing on this.
So I gave it a 7, which again is fine. I enjoyed it.
Good.
It's ranked 2,428, but
I've never played it, so I can't speak on it. I know Emanuel Ornella is a good designer, though a very infrequent publisher or published designer. Not a lot of games out there from Emanuel, but this is one I just didn't play. Sometimes Queen games for me fall through the cracks because they all kind of look the same. They have a few themes they really like. Egyptian themes. Oh my goodness, there is a truckload of Egyptian themed Queen games. And then Westerns, they did a few of those a little more recently. So maybe the Future Energy cover and theme will spark a little more interest. To be honest, between these 2 themes, though, I will take Pioneers over the other one. The other one just looks a little bland. And maybe even preachy. You know what I mean?
My suspicion is they wanted more than one game in this line, so they look for one of their older games to retheme. That's because our next piece of news is a new game from this line, Green Planet, called Powerline. This one I'm excited about because Durkan, who I like a lot, and just the way it's like the city, you're rolling dice, putting them in order. I love that cover. I'm much more excited about this one than the other one.
I need to look this up to make sure this isn't just a Durkan re-theme, because that man has made a lot of games too.
Oh, no, don't ruin it. Don't ruin it for me,
I'm ruining it. I'm going to find it. I'm going to ruin it.
No, why?
Because he's a very mean man.
Powerline is a reworking of
it is
nothing else.
I'm on the page. I Google food you.
Oh man, you're so fast at things. You're winning Powerline. It's a speed game. It's not. I have no idea.
Really
this is unfortunately, this one is going on GameFound. I just found the GameFound project for it.
Why is that unfortunate?
Decided to rename. I don't know. They said soon they'll be launching it. But they're up to like the 6th one now. and the first couple ones haven't been sent out yet.
The fact that they're crowdfunding is problematic to you, not the fact that it's on GameFound. I just wanted to understand what you said. Sorry.
Yeah, it's just slow. They're slow to deliver.
They're slow. Okay.
All right. Now the next two games, are my top 2 favorite covers of this week, and I've loved so many covers.
Whoa.
This next one, La Famiglia.
La Familia. La
I don't know why this
Familia.
cover
Say it right.
amuses me so much to see these 2 guys on a scooter.
I
don't know why. I love this cover.
I love this cover too. It's like 2 dudes on a moped getting away from a burning building, and one of them has a bat. How did he set the place on fire with a bat?
I do talk negatively about things, not too negatively. This, to me, when I saw this, I said, this is the worst cover for a theme that I've ever seen in my life. I cannot believe. This is about the Great Mafia War in Italy, I guess, early along. So there were farmhouses that the mafia was going to set fire on and beat people up with bats. It's just a disconnect.
Wait, you don't like this cover? I love it.
I dislike this cover. It looks like I'm going to be farming with a bat in my hand. No, I really dislike this cover. The color palette is wrong for the theme. If it was a farming game, then maybe it would work with the bales of hay and stuff. No,
maybe you are farming human blood.
Here's the thing. I think that I like the kind of the motif. It reminds me of, remember when you first saw the art for Scythe, you saw farming and then these mechs kind of in the background. This is giving me that same kind of thing. It's like farming, but also there's mobsters in it. I'm like, ooh, no. This makes me feel like it's a living, breathing world.
Just annoys me on every level. But Führerlandspiele is a great company. So this is like the game that I absolutely would check out based on that, but not based on this cover.
All right. Well, the next cover is also one of my favorites. I don't know why I like this one so much. I think it's just good artwork, and that's Applejack, not the My Little Pony. This guy here, who is just happy to be holding an apple, but this is just a good painting. I think it's like technically looks amazing. This is from Uwe Rosenberg. Yay! He's talking about farming. Okay, less yay, but there's beehives and apples. This is coming from Game Builders, and it's going to be available at Essen.
Yeah, when I saw this one, I saw it a couple days ago, and I was like, oh, hey, look at that. Uwe Rosenberg is still hungry. It's just like, every game he's put out for the last 10 years, I swear he designs while hungry. Everything's about, I got to feed my family. I need to farm. I need a sandwich. I need something. Where are the chips? You know what I mean? Like, everything is about that. And here's this guy holding a piece of fresh fruit. The fruit is clearly the focus of this image. It's the one thing. It's like dead center in the picture.
It's called Applejack.
I'm just saying, why is he so hungry? I don't think he was fed as a child.
Uwe Rosenberg has never eaten in his life. He is hungry. This image is absolutely gorgeous. It's like frameable for your wall, without a doubt. It's beautiful.
It is.
Piece of art.
Imperium Horizons. This is from Osprey Games. This is a new standalone game that's, I believe, it's fully compatible with Imperium Classics and Imperium Legends. Although each of those, I think, had 8 different civs in them. This one here has even more. I want to say there's 12 in this one. Wow. 14. That's so much more content. This is I
gotta try this game out. Do you like this one, Tom? You've played it?
I do, but I would be loath to teach it to you because it is a fairly heavy deck builder game.
Yeah, I know Mike really likes it, and I really like the look. I like the look here a lot, but I wonder, I'm definitely cooled on deck building games. And if it's a complex deck building game, I don't know if that would help or hurt. You know what I mean? That might help because I do think that a lot of deck building games feel lazy because they're usually simple and they don't know what else to do. So it's like deck building, but they almost feel carbon copy from other, earlier deck building games. So maybe I'll like this. I like that look. I like the artist, and these designers are top notch. So yeah, maybe.
Tom, and you've played this before?
Not this one.
I like it.
Yeah, I've never played it. I mean, everything I'm reading about it here sounds really interesting to me. So I would, if it's hard to learn though, that would be problematic. But I would like to check this out.
All right. So Avalon Hill is a completely new company at this point in time. And I had a good long talk with several of the people who work there. And this is one of the games that they're coming out with called the Yawning Portal. It's a D&D based game, but it is straight up a Euro game, which there isn't many of those. The most well-known, of course, being Lords of Waterdeep. This one here, your tavern staff, people are showing up and you're trying to feed them. The components look great. It looks fun. I'm hoping it's a good game. It's coming out not too far. It was on
January.
Hasbro Pulse recently.
It just started on Hasbro Pulse like yesterday. And it'll be coming out in January. I was unbeknownst to me, I didn't know it was going to happen. They gave me a copy of the game. It's a pre-production, so not everything is exactly the way it's going to be, but the art's all in there. I don't do reviews, of course, but I'm excited about trying this. It is not truly a fantasy game. It's based on one of the biggest parts of Forgotten Realms. The Yawning Portal is a tavern that takes you to different places, as I recall. So I'm going to check this out and play it. This is really interesting, and we have other things to talk about, of course, with Avalon Hill at the end of this set of news. But I can't agree more with what you just said. They have put in place so many good people now and a big infrastructure to actually start putting out really good games. This one looks good. Betrayal at House on the Hill 3rd edition. I got to play it at Gen Con, and it was very good. Again, that's not a game for everybody, but they streamlined things and they added 50 new haunts to the game. I really like what they're doing right now.
All right. Well, that got less stellar reviews here at Dice Tower, but
that's okay. But I'm a big fan of Betrayal at House on the Hill, even the original, air quote, broken, or maybe not air quote broken.
No, there's no air quotes. It's broken.
But I love this 3rd edition. I went from loving it to really, really loving it. I think it came out really well.
All right. So I would have actually skipped this next piece of news because I don't want to mention every time Lord of the Rings Journeys to Middle-earth has a new expansion, but the Witch King's in it, so that's cool. So I wanted to show that. Yay, Witch King.
Very neat.
Witch King.
All right. So Magic the Gathering has a set coming up in their Online, which is their weird, goofy sets that are not tournament legal, but are just silly and fun to play. The last one was what was it? The first one, it was Unglued, Unhinged. Was the last one Unhinged?
I don't remember. Unglued, anyway, Unhinged.
The upcoming one is Unfinity. Anyhow, it's going to have legacy stuff in it with stickers. You can change things.
I think the last one was Unsanctioned is what it is.
Yeah.
I actually liked the last one because it had these little cards. You put cards together to form another card. That was fun, and I'm 100% buying this. We're playing it live on the studio because I think that's funny.
All right. Sounds good.
All right, Arc Nova Maps. Did you hear there was Arc Nova Maps? Because it was probably the thing people ran for the most at Gen Con. There's a map pack, and it also says in there, Zoo Map Pack 1, which means more of these will be coming.
Oh, of course. That would be silly not to do it.
I agree. All right, the two biggest announcements that happened last week. First of all, Star Wars deck building game. This is coming from Fantasy Flight with one of the worst depictions of Luke Skywalker I've ever seen.
It's a really bad cover. I mean, it's just a bad cover. It's a lazy title. This whole thing is just not working for me personally. But again, I just said that
I'm the game is good and it's going to sell well. But wow, that art It looks like it's a video game art, right? Like this is a still from a video game. Anyway,
I don't know. There's something about this that is not capturing any sort of epic feeling at all. This looks like a disposable, garbagey game. I don't know how else to put it. I feel like I'm going to run into this at a thrift store. It has that feel, that look, that energy. But hey, maybe it's fantastic. I have no idea. And I did just say, restate that I've cooled on deck building games.
So this is
like
not
deck building games. I like Star Wars. Go ahead. What?
I'm noticing it's not going to be an LCG apparently, which is interesting. It's going to be one and done, or they'll have expansions like other deck building games.
Yeah, but that's the thing. If they start releasing expansions really fast, does it matter that it's not an LCG?
No,
they're the same thing.
I've never even bought. Not true. I just find it interesting because like LCG is their thing. So it's interesting. This one is coming out as non-LCG, apparently.
Well, no
Either
LCG
way,
has been a deck building game.
I'm hoping the game is good. I like Star Wars. I like deck building. That would be fun. So we'll just wait till we get more info. But I think it's gonna be big because it's Star Wars deck building game. But we'll see.
Right.
All right. Thank you for the 25 emails I got about this from people going, did you hear? HeroScape is coming back. Yes, I heard from everyone.
Yes. Yes.
So HeroScape is coming back from Avalon Hill. Now, I'll tell you all, folks, my first reaction to this was, I don't care. Not because I don't love HeroScape. Calm down. I do like HeroScape, but Avalon Hill is so unreliable for me that I wasn't as excited about it. I wasn't excited because I thought that the Hero Quest that came back, they just basically pressed the reprint button on it, didn't streamline it or make it more interesting. And Hasbro has a strong reputation of introducing a new game, having one expansion come out, and then they go, it's not making Magic money, cancel it. All right? But after talking to the Avalon Hill guys at HeroScape, they're bringing me around on it. So they're being very coy about telling us anything about this. And I know some people who are in this project. And so they're keeping a lot of things under wrap. But here's what we do know. It's backwards compatible, which means it works with HeroScape. That's awesome. The miniatures will not be painted. That's less awesome. They had to do it to cut costs. I get it. It makes sense. The miniatures will be color-coded, so like if it's part of a certain army, it'll be red or blue or whatever. But still, considering the vast majority of HeroScape stuff that's already out there that's painted, it would be weird to play with painted and unpainted stuff together. And not everyone's a painter. So I think that will be a problem. But they have a lot of stuff in store. They're very excited to team on it. So I am cautiously optimistic.
So this is where when I went before, we talked about the Yawning Portal, and I said, oh my God, Avalon Hill, Hasbro, is back with a vengeance. The fact that they are doing this, they've assembled, part of the original team. Craig Van Ness, one of the original designers, is the lead on the team. And we know other people who are on this that are big gamers, and their entire Avalon Hill hobby game team now has just grown to a huge size, and they're obviously going to pump money into this and other games that they have brought out. They're adding to. For instance, not only this, but we saw at Gen Con more Hero Quest. They have expansions for Hero Quest coming out, so now they are updating the system. The first one was just, okay, we're putting it back there. We're just putting it there. Okay, yeah, I agree that that's not maybe the way they should have. But now they're going to support that. This is going to get hit big time. Betrayal at House on the Hill, not loved by you. They have an expansion coming out for the new system. So I really am excited by the potential that a multi-billion-dollar company could bring to these games.
Oh, that's baloney. I don't care about that part. That multi-billion-dollar thing means nothing. We have small companies making way better products than Hasbro. That's
Sure.
silly to say that.
No, it doesn't seem silly, Tom.
I'm more interested in the fact that Hasbro is not as involved in this. That it's more Avalon Hill than Hasbro. Hasbro sucks. Okay, they do. Their games are terrible. I hate most of them.
Yes, agreed.
They're bad for the hobby.
But
But Avalon Hill and the team I talked to at Gen Con, they're cool. They seem like they really care. I just hope Hasbro doesn't axe this in a year. That's what I'm worried about.
Agreed. Agreed. But every indication seems like they're now
Hasbro, if
in
you
it.
want to sponsor the show, call me.
Yeah. I'm sure Hasbro's right on top of that one. So let me just put out one little plug / interesting information for everybody out there. I got an interview with Craig Van Ness. I did a 15-minute interview with him off-site, and he goes through. He can't say what's going to happen, but he's got some great insights into how it all happened and stuff like that. I'll be posting that later this week on my YouTube channel, The Podfather of Gaming. So you can get a little more information about how it's going, not only with HeroScape, but all the other projects at Avalon Hill. It was really cool to talk to him.
Alrighty, well, that's the news. As we know more about HeroScape, and believe me, I will be first in line to learn about this. Like I said, folks, I want this to succeed. I want this to do well. And it did stop me from paring down my HeroScape collection. So we'll see what happens. Alrighty, well, that's a lot of news. Let's jump to some contributors so we can end this show.
Hey there everyone, it's Jen, the board game librarian, flipping some pages and pushing some cubes with my segment from the page to the table, where I pair books and board games together that maybe share a common theme. This week we're going to take a look at an author I featured with all of his books so far, and that's Andy Weir and Project Hail Mary. I started this book last year, had to give up on it, and ended up finishing it by listening to it. So this is, to me, an audio pick. I'm showing off the book right here. So we have Earth that is going to be dying. There's this thing called astrophage, which is blocking out the sunlight, and Earth is going to become an icy wasteland of nothingness if a team of scientists and others don't go out and kind of find where astrophage came from and what happened to it. There's a whole huge chunk of this book that I can't give away, but my favorite part of this book, if you've read it and you know what I'm talking about, is his friend that he meets along the way. So there's not quite a game that goes along with this, but I'll show up one of my favorite space games, and that is Empires of the Void 2 by Red Raven Games. This is 2 to 5 players, 30 minutes a player, ages 13 and up. It's a Ryan Lockett game. What I really like about this game is that it's a 4X game in kind of a fraction of the time period, and I think it plays pretty decently at 2 players. So you take on a faction and you're going along and you are looking to just do a bunch of different things. I find this game to be really super seamless, like a lot of his games are. The artwork is amazing and the attention to detail and just a really super solid design. Yeah, I like this one a lot. So that is all for this week, friends. Happy breakfast.
Hi, it's Tarrant.
And Stella here from Maple University. Tarrant, what's behind box number 1?
Well, box number 2, of course.
This is Viticulture and Viticulture World. Now, we don't really drink wine. I know some of you would like boo, but we do love viticulture. So I was excited when they have Viticulture World because I do like cooperative.
And I've always been a bit iffy on worker placement co-ops in the past. I've found that you tend to be able to puzzle the whole thing through sometimes when you have that sort of a game. This one worked relatively well. It was still quite puzzly, and it was still very much you work together on the optimum solution, because the game didn't throw that much back at you that often, but it still made for an interesting puzzle.
Yeah, I do enjoy the cooperative. As Terrence said, there are still random things. There are different scenarios for each game that you can try, and it's not that easy. It's not that easy to beat. We have shared our losses before, and we didn't try the easiest or introduction scenarios, but it's good and challenging.
It's good. You don't want to smash a game the first time through, especially a puzzly co-op.
Well, but not that it's super hard that you can never able to beat, like maybe Nemo's War.
That's beatable.
Oh yeah, it is. Not by you.
Not by me.
Alright, that's it everyone. Have you played Viticulture or Viticulture World? Let us know. And thanks for watching. Bye.
And that's it, folks, for another Board Game Breakfast. Now, we were supposed to start doing We'll Play It Live 25 minutes ago, so we'll probably start that up in a few minutes. Come join us there. But until next time, I'm Tom Vassell.
I'm Z Garcia.
I'm Stephen Bonacore.
All righty, folks. See you later. Have fun with breakfast.
Bye.